you should vaccinate. Not just children, but in general. Okay, that's about all I said about it. Well, the problem with that is we're so blinded by wanting to protect ourselves from fatal diseases that we don't realize that vaccinations are just as lethal. They don't really protect us like we think we do, or like we think they do. My name is Shaitan, and today I will be telling you about why vaccinations are harmful more than helpful. When we speak about vaccinating, we're not just talking about vaccinating children. We're talking about vaccinating adults. We're talking about military personnel that are being forced to vaccinate. We are talking about elderly people and pregnant people that are also forced to vaccinate. Medical professionals tell us that vaccines are needed. The government also requires vaccinations in daycare schools, in the work field. You have to vaccinate in order to work among certain people. In the military, you have to vaccinate unless you have an exemption, and it ends up leaving us with no other choice. The problem with this is medical professionals have no liability when we become ill or when we pass away from recommended vaccinations. The vaccination mandate needs to be changed, and it needs to be changed because we shouldn't be forced to vaccinate. It should be a choice. By the end of this speech, I would like for us to take action by petitioning the government in order to change these vaccination laws from requirements to requests. The government doesn't care that the food that we eat is killing us. So why would they care that the vaccinations are? Have you ever told a lie? Has anybody in here ever told a lie?
Yeah.
Well, like you lie, so does the government. They don't care about our food, and they recall food when there are contaminants that are found in them, but I guess our lives are worth less than dead animals. When I was a kid, my mother forced me to vaccinate. Of course, she said it was the best thing for me. I didn't realize that it was something that was harmful to me. And I'm sure you all have loved ones. Would you allow them to be injected with vaccines that contain plagues, contaminants, and other harmful material? The childhood vaccine schedule recommends that all children receive 69 doses of 16 vaccinations with 50 doses of 14 vaccines given between the day of birth and age 18. The VICP awarded $4 billion in federal compensation to vaccine-injured children and adults. $4 billion is a large number. And these people were compensated because they had problems with the vaccines. They were ill, and some of them even died. Imagine the stress of a person that endures taking their children to the doctor for a vaccination. Imagine being an adult and being convinced that to get the flu vaccine. And my heart goes out to military personnel because they're forced to vaccinate. Children in daycare have to get vaccinations in order to get in daycare. I had this experience because when my children went to school, they had to get vaccinated. I was against it, but they didn't allow me to sign a waiver they said that they had to get vaccinated in order to get into school. The liability from drug companies has been removed when it comes to vaccination. And this affects all kinds of races, religions, ages, ethnicities, and cultures. This not only relates to the laws in the state of Arizona, but the whole U.S. Simply put, the vaccination laws need to be changed. No person should be forced to do something outside of their will. If the vaccination laws get changed, you'll see a decrease in autism and other diseases, as well as the immune systems will be able to do what they're supposed to do, which is to be strong enough to protect us from diseases. By taking this step, people will be given a chance to allow their healthy immune systems to do their jobs. If these laws were to get changed, we'll have a choice. Just like we have a choice for what we are to eat, to wear, and we even have a freedom of speech. Sure, there will be those that argue that vaccines increase antibody levels, which cause the body to develop immunity from certain illnesses. Truth be told, that's about as true as dinosaurs walking the earth. And with every solution, there is an action that needs to take place in order to solve the problem. So let's take an action against vaccination laws by joining me in petitioning the government to change these mandates from force to free will. Our duty is to show others that we are concerned about widespread health damage from the overuse of vaccines. If you don't remember anything else from what I said, I just want you to remember the 3 I's: immunizations, immobilize, immunity. Now, will you guys join me in taking a stance in ending vaccine mandates? By a show of hands. Well, that's more than I started with. Thank you so much.